And what a treat it is to have Tina Turner with us today. Welcome to Bryan Adams' backyard.
Oh, what a yard.
Yeah. So is it just him that you have an affinity for, or is it all youthful Canadian males with plaid shirts? Please say yes.
Well, it's guys like you, like Brian, like the cameraman. No, it's you know what it is? It's talent.
Mm. He is a talented fellow, isn't he? He wrote a song on your new album, too, didn't he?
He wrote it, produced it, and he came down to Los Angeles and made sure that I sung it how he wanted it, line by line. That's Brian. But it's the second song that he's produced on me.
Yeah.
Also, the one that we did together, Is Only Love, That's All, was also produced by Brian. He works me to death in the studio, but you know what? The outcome is that it's right. There's a guy with me. Actually, he's Canadian. We did one of his songs called It's Only Love. Had a good time. We decided to do it again. Really, he's quite cute. I think I'll call him out now. By the way, his name is Brian.
You guys must have a rhythm by now, a marvelous rhythm.
It's as I've said before, if I had the opportunity to sing every song that Brian has ever sung, or all of his music, I would take it. I've never heard one single song of his that I thought, oh, well, not that one. I like his style, I like his sound, and he plays his guitar, he plays it, you know.
I was reading in the Vanity Fair item on you that Keith Richards says you're like a bit like the Stones, that you're still out there testing whether or not you can grow old in rock and roll.
Well, I tell you what, when I stop, it'll be one of those times when I look in the mirror and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, is it time?
You better be good to me. That's how it's gotta be now. 'Cause I don't have no use. What you loosely call true. And you better be good to me.
What sense that you've wanted to stop for a couple of years?
I would like to just, you know, there are other things that I want to do now. I've enjoyed my work. My rock and roll days, I had it with the denim jacket and the skirt and the on stage with the thousands and thousands of people. I want to learn a few languages now. I want to study. I can't tell you what, but it's studying. You find other things to do mentally. My mind has begun to change to want to take in a few things.
Niki say sang ju sang ma yang ju niki go chorus ju bu ju ye jan jan ma yo go che ma na ngai na nyu ri sa ju ma na ka ji bu yo bu no chi jo we cho ga bu so den na ban da ka mo ju jo bu den yo jo bu mo yo do ho myo jo den mo yo bu man jo ju den den mi zo wu ho so ki jo sa du i jo rang ge.
I'm wondering if you see a point in your life approaching where that public persona and the real Tina, the woman who is well mannered, who lives in Europe, and whether those are going to start to grow together.
Refinement coming to reality, being used differently. I think it'll come. I think that's what the movie career will do. There is a type of refinement from an actress, and comparing it with a rock singer. Rock singers are not allowed to be actors on stage. They think that that's how we are, whatever we do. An actress can get on stage or, on camera, in bed, or do anything, and people don't think that that's how they are. They think that they were acting. So, an excuse for being or whatever is by being an actress. That refinement, I think, could possibly come sooner than we know, if I'm able or when I'm able to get that career going. I'm beginning to think that if it's not coming from Hollywood or where movies are made, the idea just came to me of something like getting someone to write something like a Thelma and a Louise as a style of a movie for a Tina Turner to do what Schwarzenegger did with his life. It would definitely come from changing my life as a rock and roll singer, stepping off that stage to another stage. I believe it will happen. I don't really care what people think about when. I'm the type of person to be patient enough to wait until that time comes and gradually move into something rather than just shocking my public into from moving from one stage to the next. It's a gradual progression, and I think I'll make it.
That same Vanity Fair article we were talking about called you the mother of rock and roll. Do you like that?
What that image is that grandmother still here, the mother of Mother Earth, grandmother of music, you know, still standing. I'm sure it came from that.
Your life is in some ways a series of contradictions. I don't know if you see it that way, but you know, the little girl who grew up in Tennessee who is now the
what?
Well, I mean, the wonderfully mannered woman of Europe. I mean, the woman who on stage, you know, portrayed such strong feminism and rebellion, and yet at home had this horrible life. Does your life appear to be contradictory to you?
Just the difference in the two people. You know, there are two sides to all of us, whether we realize it or not. You might see people that have a few glasses of champagne or something, and immediately they become very active and fun. It's the second personality coming out. And yes, that's that. We're not talking about personality here. We're talking about life and what one goes through in life at sometimes. At this point of our life, it's not as rough as what we're speaking of as it was in the past. It was not only with Ike Turner, it was with my mother and my father and all of the struggle of coming up from school and trying to get educated and having all these obstacles and interfering with my learning process. And now, it's a bit smoother. I would like it a bit less rough.
Anything left of the Tennessee girl in you?
Yeah, it's those seasons. I love, you know, I don't seek for Beverly Hills, Hollywood, or Cat Farrar. I find that I'm always push myself to countryside. It's waking up with the fresh air and the crickets in the nights and the singing of the birds, and sometimes even still getting out in the garden, putting my hands in the dirt and dealing with the flowers and the petals. And country life is wonderful. I think what can ruin it for people is that struggling in the fields and the laboring if you don't really love it. Hard work in the country makes you feel like, oh, country is beautiful.
So if you were gracious enough to meet a stranger on the street, and that stranger said, take me to the place that will best define who Tina Turner really is, where would you take them?
To a green place, seasoned place, quiet, bit of rain, fireplace, some books, bit of fun, laughter, little champagne.
What would you
privacy,
want to talk about?
spirituality, growth, the human body. Incredible machine.
Yeah. And what would they learn about you there?
Another side of one of the sides of me. I'm very interested in spirituality and the learning of history of the world, of man, of even talking about the human body, the capabilities of the human body, the love, just the love that people often get mixed up with what is sexual and what is true love. I think a conversation that could move in different areas that people wouldn't expect that I think about.
I hope this isn't too personal question, but would you be wearing your wig, do you think, for that conversation?
I always wear my wig.
How come?
I like it. The care is much easier. It's less work somehow with the hair pieces. It's more fun. It's fashion. It's a part of the makeup, you know. I wear less makeup every day, but there's always a little makeup there somewhere.